We now move to session 10, Power of Self-Talk by Mr. S.Prakash.
Okay, good afternoon. Nice to see you back. Morning we had a topic and there have been a lot of inputs to all of you. I'm going to ask you to do a small exercise. Take your sheet of paper. I'm going to give you 2-3 situations. In these situations, I want you to tell me how would you feel about the situation and what would you say about this to the first person whom you meet, the person who is close to you. Let's say that you are coming from city to SRM in your bike and you have a flat tire. It takes you 1.5 hours extra to reach here, and after coming here you will meet a person who is very close to you. Just write your response. What would you say about that incident in terms of how you felt? Situation 2, you are going for a wedding of one of your friends in the evening. You are taken one of your best dresses, and on the way you have heavy rains. You get completely drenched, and when you enter the reception, everyone else is much better dressed than you and you are completely drenched, wet from tip to toe. What would you tell the person who is close to you about what happened, or what kind of feelings would you share? You bought a new bike, just taking it around to show off, and there's a small dent that happens before you take the bike out and you want to go and show it to somebody else, very close friend of yours. When you meet them, the focus obviously goes on to the dent in your bike. What would you tell them about how you felt about this incident? For these 3 incidents, just tell me quickly a couple of responses. What would you tell in situation 1 when you had a flat tire coming to the college? Quick response from anyone? Sorry? No, generally, what would you say about the flat tire situation itself? People know that you are delayed, you have solved the problem. Normally, the tendency is for us to share something which is normally frustrating. Why did it happen to me? It always happens. When I am coming, why should it rain only when in the stretch in which I am coming, it didn't rain for the others? All these things, normally what we say is what I call as the power of your words. Word power is extremely powerful. In the morning I spoke about the power of mind. The conscious mind to a great extent is controlled, as Geeta said in the morning in her Listen to the Body presentation about the 5 senses. To a great extent they don't even stay back. For the subconscious mind, there is only one input. That input is called thought. The thoughts that go inside of you completely transforms your thinking system over a period of time. And this can come from the words that you utter, the words that you hear, and the filters that you use which permit certain words to go in certain situations. I call it as self-talk. Self-talk can be called as the script that you talk to yourself all the time. In the morning, I shared about the number of thoughts that we have in a day. There are about 80 to 100,000 thoughts. And you may have wondered, how am I going to control these thoughts? There are two known techniques. The other technique, in all probabilities, would be covered by the other speakers as we go along, which is called as visualization, which I don't want to go in too deeper. The second, which is equally powerful, is what I call as self-talk. In any situation, normally we tend to use several words. I can't, I won't, this is not possible, my memory is not trained, he has a better memory, I don't have that kind of memory, I am not a good team player, I don't know, I don't seem to remain motivated. Every time you permit a word or a phrase to go inside of you, what happens is you are sowing a seed of thought inside of you, which becomes a script. You have a choice to make. The power of self-talk is such, you need to understand how thoughts work in the first place, specifically in the manner of self-talk. What I speak to me continuously is something which becomes a self-talk. Can be positive, can be negative, can be neutral. For example, in any situation, when I had a flat tire, when I met my friend, I could have said, I found an easier way henceforth to travel to the college. Instead of saying, my God, why did I have to have a flat tire? Or, when I got wet, my dress looks far better and I am happy that the city is getting rains. Much better way of putting it. Or when I had a dent, thank God I didn't meet with an accident, it is just a dent. Maybe my life got saved. All this makes a huge difference. Self-talk to a great extent is like a shield. I told you in the morning about the loads that people put on to us, including the loads that we put on ourselves. The loads that we put on ourselves to a great extent can be controlled by self-talk. The challenge is also the loads which come from outside. To a great extent, the conditioning that we have tends to let us share the negative side of life to others. And we are giving them free negative scripts, which can alter their thinking pattern. Let us see quickly how self-talk works. When I keep repeating something to inside of myself, you would have seen this with great champions, great sports people. I do coach a lot of sports people, and one of the techniques we use is between balls, when they play and they get out or they don't get out, what to tell themselves. You would see that they are going into a zone, they are talking to themselves something. Suresh Raina gave an interview last week. He said that before every ball I face, I tell myself I am going to hit it for a 4 or 6. Maybe sometimes he doesn't. At least that way he is looking at a positive result. Self-talk, when repeated, we say that forms your belief systems. Belief systems is what I am, what I think about the world. You feel you are a victim, you are a champion, you are a person who is being aided by others, you are a person being hindered by others. It's the belief system that I have about myself, which is created by self-talk, which is the basic script. Many of you might have used computers and continue to use computers. The fundamental principle of computers is GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. If you have a script which is going to produce a bad code, which is going to produce a program which does not help you to produce results, that code has to be changed. As simple as that. Likewise, you can change your script, and by repeating a script, you can modify those thoughts that you have, that 100,000 thoughts, more into positive ones. And these positive thoughts, as I said, which becomes a self-talk, creates a belief system. As Vaijayanti ma'am was telling you, belief systems actually is what leads you to have an attitude. As I always tell people, attitude is what you are and behavior is what others see. My self-talk leads to my belief system, and belief system creates my attitude. Attitude is the base on which I look at the world finally. The belief system and the thoughts that happen inside of me being much below, like the foundation stones. Attitude, you can say, is the building blocks on the total structure. The attitude that I have over a period of time creates a set of feelings towards other thing. When I see something, normally we act when we feel about acting. I want to do this, is a feeling. I cannot do this, is a feeling. I will go ahead and achieve, is a feeling. The belief systems create a set of feeling in any situation. It is a proven marketing input that almost all buying decisions are made on emotional state, not on logical state. Hence, all the marketing mantras that you see would get you connected through the emotional state, which is where the feelings come, because the next step, the feelings, is what actually leads you into action. If I don't feel good about something, for example, I smell food. If I feel good about the smell, I want to go and eat even if I am not hungry. If I see someone, for whatever reason, my baggage says this person looks good, I feel good, I go and establish a relationship. As I said, let's go back. Self-talk leads to strengthening your belief systems over a period of time. The belief systems go and strengthen your attitude. The attitude makes you feel in certain way, which is what leads you into action. And action produces results. The biggest challenge as you graduate out of MBA and go into any job, the pressure to take decisions in corporate world is very high. To the extent that many people I know of take credit, I took 10 decisions today. I took 12 decisions today. I mean, today was boring here, I couldn't decide at all. And to a great extent, all the decisions that people take are taken from a feeling state without changing the base. Hence, what happens is the decisions are superficial, at a very top level, has no depth. What happens is the script is saying something else, whereas the feeling is saying something else. It is not congruent, and hence the decisions that come out do not sustain. Self-talk is a very powerful tool. It is something that all of us have. Doesn't matter in which language you speak. Finally, all of them are going to get converted into thoughts. Once I continuously think about something, this is something that every great achiever has said. 10 years ago, I felt this is what is going to happen. And I had been working towards that. Because day in and day out, they had been telling themselves this is what they are going to achieve. They started firmly believing that they are going to achieve this. And that self-talk created a belief system that I am capable. You will be surprised to find when you create a belief system, things automatically fall in place as if this was meant for you. You may be wondering, how am I so lucky today? You are not lucky, you have created luck. You have created luck by telling yourself consistently that I am good enough for this. Of course, when finally you take action which is going to back in a cycle, you are going to come back into the same thing, and it helps you to launch yourself into higher levels. Going back to the thing, the thoughts are controlled by self-talk. The self-talk leads to belief system. The belief system creates your attitude. Your attitude creates feelings inside of you. The feelings lead to action, and action leads to results. When we are looking at the short term, when we short circuit the whole process, we jump into results or we jump into action without modifying the script. There are various ways in which you can write a script for yourself. A very simple example I will give you. Say you are walking at 10 in the night from your home, couple of streets away, to a friend's home to meet him. On your way, you didn't notice anything. You crossed the road, you went to his home. You met him, and as you were coming out, your friend asked him, there was a couple of stray dogs there where you crossed the place. Didn't you notice it? He said, no, I didn't notice. Now you want to go back home. You are taking the same place again. You are going where the same road. What is your mind telling you now? Oh, stray dogs are going to be there. And the law of attraction, the law of self-talk starts working. You automatically start attracting that. And all along the dogs which are keeping a low profile, like the photograph that Mr. Manoj showed in the morning, it starts running after you. This is what happens, the power of self-talk. You create your future by what you talk to yourself consistently. All you have to do is ensure, surprisingly, anything that you want to achieve in life, whether it be teamwork, whether it be achieving a goal, whether it be, we have about 50 to 60 topics in which I have written scripts for people to. Scripts, there are various ways in which you can listen. One of the best way we always say is that once in the morning for sure when you get up, once before you go to sleep in the night, and in between a few times. If you want to quit smoking, you want to reduce weight, you want to increase weight, you want to score well, you need to regulate your system and create the belief system inside of you. You will be able to find that consistently writing the self-talk that suits the occasion, you can modify the belief system. Morning you are wondering, how am I going to get rid of the cricket bat? How am I going to get rid of the cement bag on my back? Is it possible? It is of course possible. All you have to do is take a decision. Self-talk, actually speaking, is a very simple, very simple concept. You are altering your thought mechanism. Thought being the only contributor which tunes your subconscious mind. Of course, it can be programmed through visualization, self-talk. There are so many other tools available. What you speak to yourself consistently matters. One other thing I always tell people, the power of positive rephrasing. In any situation, in the worst of situations, have a right to demean myself, if at all. I can feel bad. I don't have a right to make somebody else feel bad. In a given situation, if I am going to negatively phrase something and bring somebody else's energy down, make somebody else feel bad about what they are doing, I don't have a right to spoil somebody else's feelings, because once you alter the feeling, automatically leads to certain actions. If certain movies are successful, you can trace it back to the script which was positive. If certain movies are negative and the people like negative scripts, that movie would have been successful. It also sort of in some way vibrates with the people who are watching. You choose a group that you have, next one day do a simple thing. Just watch what you speak. Just watch what you speak. Because what you speak is what you are telling yourself, because it's a reflection of your belief system. I cannot fake for too long. I can fake for half an hour, I can fake for 1 hour, I can fake for a couple of hours. That's what we do in interviews. Beyond a point, I cannot fake. If I had to wake up in the middle of night and put you into a situation, how you react is your actual self-talk. And this will tell you what you are. Next one day, just watch yourself, what you are speaking. If you find any negative script getting out of your mouth, just stop. I tell people, you have 3 choices. First choice is ruled out from today. I cannot say anything negative henceforth. The second choice, I have a right to keep quiet. If somebody is saying something, I don't feel good about it, at least keep quiet, don't say anything. Don't make somebody else's life miserable by saying something. Otherwise, positively rephrase. If you want to tell him, saying that it won't work, you can always ask them, have you considered these options? Can you look at these options? That makes it easier for them. Instead of saying that this won't work, I know that this will fail. What happens is, even before the person takes off, you're cutting the flight off. It's like the flight is about to take off and then again it's grounded. What will the captain do? It becomes extremely difficult. The third one, I always say, before you speak, pause. At least for one reason, you look intelligent. Normally when you pause, people think you are actually intelligent. You may be, you may not be. But this is perceived. I have always seen, whenever I speak fast, people don't take me seriously. Whenever I give a pause and look at them and and all that, they actually take me very seriously, because now they think I have actually thought about it and then answered them. What I am actually doing inside is, to a great extent, I am removing the negative side of what I might say and see how I can positively rephrase. Because it's very easy to react in a situation and pour venom through your mouth and make somebody else's life miserable. The best of relationships are broken in one single moment when people say something which is negative, which would not have been needed. Actually, when you really look back after the evening, the next day, why did I say this? It's quite difficult to let the tongue do what it is supposed to do, just taste. Unfortunately, it works in so many other ways which are difficult. It also has a good purpose. It can speak positively. I would like to close it with a small anecdote. There was a king who loved a lot of non-vegetarian dishes. So one day he called his chef and said, come and cook me the best of dishes. It was so good, he started eating, and he said, what is it? He said, this is a tongue of a specific animal and this is how I made. The king said, it's wonderful, beautiful, and then it kept on making, kept on making. The next week the king called him and said, I don't like this. He said, king, you are right. Actually, tongue is bad, it speaks lies. The tongue can do both ways. You have a choice of saying the right things in any situation. Ensure that what you tell the world at least is positive. Or if at best, keep your mouth shut. If you have to say something negative, let me go out and tell myself. I can go and tell myself, I can beat myself, I have a right. I don't have a right to bring it on. The power of self-talk. I have put some scripts, I have put some reading material on this on our website, cchangeworld.com. It's available for a free download. You can go and have a look. There are even some sample audio scripts given which you can download and listen at whenever you are free, to create wealth, to create peace. So many scripts I have created which are free of cost available. Look at it, make the maximum use. We are going to rock. We are going to have a lot of inputs coming in. Let's use the power of suggestion through self-talk to maximize our growth in our life and reach the kind of purposes that we have been setting for ourselves from the morning. Thank you.